Okay, so this really poor quality picture was me about a year ago. So my name's Neil, and I guess I'm now an entrepreneur. So about a year ago, I was working in a corporate job. I'd been there for 3 years, but I'd been there for 2 years too long. I kind of came in every single day and hated myself for doing it. I was earning some okay money. This was back in the UK, by the way. But every single day I went in there and I really hated it, and I just spent my days surfing the net and just wishing the time away. I really feel like I wasted 2 years of my life. I was just about to become a dad. My son is becoming 1 on Thursday, and I remember any good parent will encourage their kid to do what they dream of, follow their dreams. You know, you can be anything. You know, it's a classic thing that people say, but how many of that parent actually go out there and do it? So I wanted to tell my son, go and do what you like. But my dad, he still sits in a job he hates. He tells me every day he hates it. He sat there for 15 years, and you know, the message of him telling me to do whatever I like kind of falls flat when he's not doing it. So this kind of thought gave me the motivation to actually follow what I wanted to do. So those 2 years when I was like sitting on the internet, I was like reading TechCrunch, reading about startups, looking at my mates and startups. So that's what I wanted to do. At the same time as having a baby, quitting my job, starting a company, I also thought it'd be a good idea to move country. So actually doing 3 things at once actually made it easier, because you kind of lose grip on reality and just go for it. Yeah, I would advise kind of making difficult decisions all at once. It actually makes it a lot easier. So I was coming to Denmark and I wanted to start a company. So I'd started going to some events in London, so I started to know some people in startups and kind of get a grip on what was going over in London. And actually I did that by attending a couple of events and just getting out there. Attended on my own and just going. Everyone's so friendly, it's really easy to do. So I was coming to Denmark, I didn't know where to look. You know, is there a tech startup scene here? Is there somewhere I can actually go and set up my business and meet other people like that? So I looked up an article, just found this on the internet, and it listed some prominent Danish startups, prominent people in the scene. 23 were probably on there, and I just read the names and I just sent emails to a couple of people, like a couple of people mentioned in the article. Not really expecting any responses, just saying, hey, I'm coming over, just wondering what's going on over there, and could I grab a coffee with you when I come? And I didn't really expect anything, but every single person said yes, sure, tell me when you get here. And these people were CEOs. These people were CEOs of some of the biggest startups in Copenhagen. I said, sure, when I come over, grab me. And they did it, you know, they didn't just say it. When I got here, I emailed again, sure, how about next week? So I did that. I met up with them, and they kind of told me who to speak to and where to go and what events to go to. So it was really cool, and that kind of really sums up the whole kind of startup environment for me. It's the people, and there's a classic ethos of pay it forward, which is giving something before you get it back, and a lot of people live by that. But I thought, what if people weren't as kind of aggressive, or I don't know, aggressive, but as confident or bullshit as me, and like emailing these CEOs of startups and saying, can we grab a coffee? You know, how else would you find these people? So in London, this is how I started meeting people. I went to an event called Silicon Drinkabout. And basically, you just go and have a drink, there's no agenda. You just go and talk to people with an interest in startups, just in the whole area. People just come just to look at people in startups. So yeah, but it's really cool, and you just have a drink. So what I decided to do was, what if other people were coming to Copenhagen and didn't know where to look? What if you guys in this room don't know how to even begin to meet the people in startups? So I contacted guys in London, and we started it here. So we started that about, I don't know, five months ago now. So from kind of knowing no one, I think I set up 2 months after I got here, 1 month after I got here. from knowing like seriously no one, I now know a hell of a lot of people. And that's thanks to people being generous and nice and welcoming me. So we set this up to welcome other people. And the point of me talking about this is just to encourage you to go out there. There are all these events. This is free. I mean, you have to pay for your drink, but it's free. And you get to talk to cool people, like everyone's really chilled out. Everyone will kind of reach out to you when you get there. And I don't want Smiling to worry, but I kind of scrapped the second half of the presentation I was going to do, and instead wanted to tell you what I did this weekend instead. So this weekend I was in Danish Parliament all weekend, and if you think I look tired, you're right. I've hardly slept since Friday, and the reason for being there was I was on an event called Startup Weekend, and you basically have to build a company from when you get there on a Friday morning to you present it on the Sunday evening. And you pitch an idea and you build a team and you meet other people and you work with people that you've never met before, and all of a sudden you have to build something in, okay, yeah, my maths is about 54 hours, and then present it back. So yeah, it's an incredible experience. And what we did is extremely relevant to the people in this room today. So that's why I'm going to talk about what we actually did at the weekend. So I'm going back to the point of not knowing where to start or not knowing where to look or follow your dreams. Not many people do what they love to do. Most people just get a job and work 9 to 5 and hate it, pretty much like I did. And we feel that you should be doing what you love. One of the hardest steps is meeting other people who also share your passions and your dreams, and you need to talk to someone about those, you know, to push you on. Maybe you're in a corporate, or maybe you're not even in a job, and you want to do something, but you're scared that your idea isn't right, or you don't know how to do it, but you want to talk it through with someone who also has that same idea or interest. So in 54 hours, we built an app, a website, we have customers already, we have social media, we were featured in the media, all in 54 hours with people. To be fair, I had met some of the people before, but I never worked with them before. And there was 7, 8 of us, and we had to work together on this and create this in 54 hours. So this was actually, this was made yesterday, so the numbers are actually a lot higher now. I think we've had nearly 3,000 blog views, 160 Facebook likes, and we've got over 150 signed up users now. And that's when we launched it in the last 48 hours. And the point of showing you that is not to show off or to say, you know, aren't we great? It's to say, look what can be created in that amount of time with people that you've never met before. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is that in the startup world, it's all about working as a team. On the second night, everyone was going to, we were kicked out at 11 o'clock every night. On the second night, everyone was going to the pub at 11. Our team got on our bikes and cycled to one of the people in our team's office, and we worked until 3 or 4 in the morning. Our team never spoke doing it because it was fun. And it is a hell of a lot of hard work in a startup, but it's also a hell of a lot of fun. Like, I really feel like what I do now isn't really a job. It's almost like a way of life. It's just fun. If you're doing something you love, it's not really a job. It becomes your life, but your life becomes something that you love. So this was us, and I think we're in like Pernilla's in Helle Thorning-Schmidt's seat in the meeting room in Parliament. Oh yeah, the reason for the dance, There was like a viral video last week of a woman quitting her job, dancing to a Kanye West song. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Yeah. So we've been emailing her over the weekend to try and get her to dance for us during our presentation. Unfortunately, she had much more pressing press commitments. She was probably on Oprah or something rather than wanting to dance for us, but we thought we would send her a picture dancing to see if it worked, but unfortunately not. But these were the people I worked with. So I really want to help people that want to get into startups and into the scene. And the reason why you guys are here today is because you're interested in that topic, I hope. So I just wanted to talk to you about a few places where you can meet these people and start kind of thinking about what you want to do, if you do want to do something. But by going to these, you can figure out if it's right for you. But if you don't go, you'll never know. And you do have to experience it a little bit. So of course, we have Silicon Drinkabout. That happens every Friday from 6 o'clock. And we go to a different bar every Friday. Copenhagen is a lot smaller than London, so we are running out of bars. This week we're 2 doors down from the place we were at last week. But yeah, we're going to have to start going around in circles soon. There's something called Startup Digest, and this gives you, it's a weekly email subscription. So if you sign up to that, every week you'll just get the events that are happening in Copenhagen startup scene. There's something called the Lean Startup Circle, and they put on really cool events. So the last event they had a guy called Max Niederhofer, and he's a venture capitalist, someone who invests in startups, and they put it on so some startups in the scene could come and pitch directly to him. And Max, he's a big money guy. He recently opened up his calendar for a day and just invited people to come and speak to him. So even the guys with the money, even the guys at the top are open and friendly. Startup weekend, obviously where I've just come from this weekend. Passionate, oh, okay, yeah, I missed actually what it was. I was meant to cover that. So, before I encourage you to go to our website, I should probably tell you what it is. So the purpose of it, and the purpose of why I wanted to talk about it, was because it helps you find and connect with people who share your interests. And actually, we targeted people in corporate worlds, so this didn't go down too well with all the corporate sponsors of the event, but we were actually encouraging people to leave their jobs if they hated them and start something on their own. I think this might have something to do with the fact that we didn't win, but not that I'm bitter. But yeah, so you use the app. Well, no, I can't show it to you. It's pointless for people at the back. But yeah, we have an app. You go in and you enter what your interests are, and then you will have people who have a similar passion in this area. So you could say Copenhagen. Say you want to set up a business in hotels. You could say, hey, I'm interested in hotels, tourism, travel, things around that, and then you would get people matched up on your app, and then you can quickly either swipe and say, oh no, this person's actually interested in B&Bs, I'm more interested in creating a huge hotel. So you just swipe left, and you can reject that person anonymously, so they don't know like they've been rejected. So it's not like a horrible feeling for you, but no one wants to work with you, so you don't know. If someone pops up that you think could be a good match, you swipe the other way, and then you can either invite them for a coffee, or you can just say hi and have a message within the app with them. So the reason why we created this, even though our brief was to our brief was set employees free, but we felt they actually meant kind of within a company and pursuing their own ideas, but we chose to interpret it differently. And we felt that in many cases, like I said, it's all about the first step, going to that event, meeting those similar people, and we felt that that was the key driver to encouraging more entrepreneurs. So hopefully it will be useful to the people in this room as well. Yeah, you can sign up, but we're not live with the app yet. And actually, the reason why I put my Twitter handle here was because I also wanted to mention something about Twitter. So in London, everyone in like startups and tech is on Twitter. I came over here and not many people are on Twitter in Denmark, which really shocked me. And the reason for that is because there's really, really good content on Twitter, and that's the main reason you should use it. If you're really interested in tech and startups, you should be using it. And people in Denmark do use it in the kind of entrepreneurial area, so there's a lot of cool stuff you can find on there. And of course, say hi to me on there. That's my email address as well. So please feel free to contact me. I'm going to stay around in the break, but then I've got to shoot off at the end of the break. My mum is getting on a plane for the first time in 30 years to come over tomorrow, and I need to pick up a few things for her. So I better go and do that. But yeah, that's about it. I just want to really encourage you to explore this area, and it may not be for you, and you may love it, but you won't know until you try it. And also I want to add a disclaimer. Every month I'm struggling to pay bills. I haven't made it. I'm really stressed right now that I've got to earn enough money to get to the next month, seriously stressed. So it's not all fun and games and staying up all night and working hard and playing with people and drinking. It's hard as well. So you need to know your motivations. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
What kind of tie are you from here?
Okay.